Hello everybody, welcome to the Daily Brick. My name is Nick, and today we are looking at set number 76102, Thor's Weapon Quest. This set is based on Avengers Infinity War, coming with 3 minifigs, that being Thor, Groot, and Rocket, and it does follow the storyline in which the 3 of them go to Nidavellir, which is apparently a made-up word, according to Thor.
Yeah. That's a made-up word.
What was made up?
That being said, there are some really good details in this set. I absolutely love the coloration. I know a lot of people didn't, but I love the sand blue, purple, and orange sort of design here for the ship, as well as some light bluish and dark bluish gray. I think all those colors mesh really well together, especially the orange and purple. I've always thought those colors go together pretty well, and I do really enjoy the sand blue up at the top. That is really nice. The 3 minifigs are all fantastic. Unfortunately, the Rocket Raccoon is the exact same one we get from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but it was such a close tie-in with the 2 films from the gap between Guardians Volume 2 and Infinity War wasn't that big, so like it kind of makes sense that Rocket would still have the same outfit on, and it would kind of make sense that Rocket would be, you know, in the same outfit in Lego form as well. There is a side build, that being the actual Forge. Doesn't look anything like the Forge, and I don't know, I mean, I guess it kind of resembles the scene where Eitri turns the giant, I don't know, cauldron over and it makes the mold for Mjolnir. Not Mjolnir, for Stormbreaker, but I'm not really seeing it. I do still enjoy it though. I think that it's still a good set. And actually, we're going to take a look at the Forge first now that we're talking about it. So starting with the Forge, this is a very simple build. Right now you're looking at the backside, so it is supposed to be hidden. It's kind of odd to see. I'm not entirely sure where you're supposed to put this. I feel like this is kind of an awkward fit, and the Infinity Stone, the Power Stone on the back, is just sort of sitting there randomly. It's not really tied to anything. Not entirely sure why it's here either. This doesn't happen in the scene, but I'm forgetting that these sets came out almost immediately before the release of Avengers Infinity War, so they kind of had to cover their tracks, Lego at least, with where they would put all the Infinity Stones, and also they kind of were making inferences on where things were going to be, and they couldn't reveal the movie's plotline because they didn't want to show where the Infinity Stones were going to be, and they just didn't want to spoil anything. So I do get why there are some random things in these sets, especially with some of the later sets, especially for Endgame. Like that's a whole nother rabbit hole we can go on down another day. But yeah, we'll take a look at this. The Forge does have some stickers on both left and right sides. You can see some lightning effects coming off there, and then you do get a bunch of these Power Blast pieces adorning the entire thing, so I do really like that. And Thor does have quite a few himself, so that way you can swap them in and out. He has different like electricity powers. I do like that a lot. The door on the bottom is, that's right, it's a door, it's not any sort of anything else. So let me actually pull that out really quick. It is just sitting loosely on tiles, so you can easily do that, and that is where Stormbreaker sits. So right on the interior right there, you can see Stormbreaker on that door piece. It kind of works like a drawer system. With the Infinity Stone on the back, though, it doesn't let you push it all the way out, so it's just kind of like a small drawer like that. And I actually do really like that design. It's very simple, and it's very easy to build. And I guess you could also tip this up to make it look like the cauldron, but on the back, you do have a Technic gear, and you're able to spin that, and it makes this spin like that. Not entirely sure what that has to do with the movie at all, but again, all concepts, just so they didn't spoil anything. So it still looks good. I think it's a cute build. It's definitely something that you could have fun with. I remember when I got this set before the launch of Infinity War, I loved this little Forge. I put like all sorts of minifig weapons in there, and I really enjoyed just having this. I thought it was cool. So I do understand why it's in the set to be a nice little side build. We will take a look at Stormbreaker with Thor in a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty much all for this build. I do like the Power Stone on the back. I think that the different inclusion of all of the Infinity Stones being in all of, I'm pretty sure it was 6 sets, just to have 6 Infinity Stones per set, so like it makes sense, but I really wish that this one wasn't in here, because this one has nothing to do with it. I've at least put the Soul Stone in here. I feel like the Soul Stone should have been in the one that like nobody knew where it was gonna be, so I do really like the idea of that, but you know, we didn't get that, and that's totally fine. Up next, we have the little escape pod that comes off the back of the Benatar, and this is really nice. I, again, really like this coloration. I think the sand blue going down into the light bluish, dark bluish gray, and the orange and purple, all those colors work really, really well. I love that you can see through the entire ship from the clear little disc on the back and then the big bubble dome in the front. I love that so much. There's so much light that can go through this set, and there are some really good opportunities to have more than one fig in here. You can actually fit all three, Thor, Groot, and Rocket into here. So I do really like that. There are stickers on the left and right. They are both symmetrical, so they are just on both sides. They're really nice. I like the little paneling details. You can see like the bolts and the screws and stuff like that. On top, you actually can take this off. This is an entire panel up top as well. You can actually see that there are some more stickers up there, and those match up pretty well. But you're supposed to do that so one, you can fit more figs on the inside, and also that way you can sort of take this off, and that way it'll clip to the back of the Benatar when you do combine both sets. On the back, I'm pretty sure you've seen it by now, the exposed Technic pins, that is also what connects it to the Benatar, so you can take that set. I wish I had it. Fortunately, we don't have it here, so I can't show you guys how to do it, but I will put up a picture on there. So you can actually take these as well, and these are the little thrusters. You're supposed to like open them up like this, and that just slots right into the back of the Benatar. It looks really, really good. I really enjoy that. There are two stud shooters up here. I'm not going to shoot them. We all know I'm going to lose them, so I'm just going to leave them there. You can, again, take both Groot and Rocket, and so I guess all three, not both. Rocket, Groot, and Thor, and put all three of them in here. I'm actually going to take this and just open that up. Groot is supposed to go on to this 2x2 brown tile, so you can just sit him right on there, and then you can take Thor and face him forward. It is a little snug once they're all in there, but it works really well, and there's a lot of arm room too, so I do really enjoy that, and you can see with this top panel taken off, there's just so much light going through that. Starting with the minifigs, we are going to start with Teenage Groot, and this was the very first Groot that we ever had in a teenage form, so this is definitely odd, and the very first Groot that we ever had in minifig form as well. This is an interesting fig because of a couple things. The legs do not have any printing on them, so they are just plain brown legs. The head is completely uniquely molded specifically for Groot. I love this mold. It looks really good and really faithful. I think the brown coloration is a little odd, especially since he is more of a tan color, but he also is brown in Infinity War, so like kind of weird. I'm not entirely sure where they got this color from. It's a little darker than he actually is in the movies, but I do still enjoy this fig a lot. The torso is definitely the most interesting part, specifically because everywhere where there's supposed to be kind of empty space, they kind of just filled it in with leaves, and I do like that detail. It doesn't really affect anything. I think that if you were to look at it too hard, you'd kind of be like, what the heck is going on there? You can see along the ridges of the torso, you can see all that dark green coloration, but it really, again, doesn't look bad, and I really like the printing on the front of the face. His accessory is one of these vine whip pieces, and it is just in brown to give off the extension that Groot does when he goes to pick up Stormbreaker and make the handle for Thor. Next up, we do have Rocket Raccoon, and this is a great minifig for a multitude of reasons. We're going to start with the legs. The legs are just in the dark blue color. They are the short legs. He does have this waist piece that is the tail in dark bluish gray, but the only issue with this is that it does separate the legs and the torso a little bit, but it's really not that big of a deal. It kind of looks like it's supposed to be there just because the fur would kind of stick out of his costume, just like it does in the movies. I do really like that the arms are also dark bluish gray to match the tail and the head. The torso print is really good. I really enjoy Rocket's vest piece. I think it's really nice. I've always enjoyed that piece. I do have like 3 or 4 of this exact fig, and it never ceases to amaze me how really, really good this fig is, and I do really enjoy it. I love the specialized head mold. I do think that the switch from this fixed head position to the swivel head that he has now, where he can actually move his head around and like look from left to right, was a necessary one, and I do appreciate that they eventually did that. I do, however, really like the shoulder pads on this one, and I'm not a big fan as to why most Rockets don't really have the shoulder pads anymore, but I do really like that he has the shoulder pads and like the jacket collar. It looks really nice, and I think it gives some height to him as well, and the head mold overall is just a really good mold. The printing on the front is just fantastic as well. You can see he's got the white fur on top of the black fur. Rocket isn't really this dark gray color though, so he definitely does get a color change further down the line. He does go from this dark gray to brown eventually, and the brown is a much more faithful color to the character. Last but not least, we do have my favorite minifig in the entire set, that being Thor. I think this is probably the definitive Thor fig for me. I love that torso. The legs are plain, so we can skip right over those. No arm printing, unfortunately. That torso, though, is so good. The printing on the back is perfect. I love that the different metal pieces on, like, the chest plates are all lit up to be electrified. I love that so much. He is having this Stormbreaker for the very first time. This was the very first time we ever got Stormbreaker in any sort of form. So he is using the little leaf piece, or the little stem piece in brown, and then one of these lightsaber hilts that have like it's more like the nunchuck hilts. So I do really enjoy that piece, and it is supposed to be Groot's arm, so that's pretty funny. And then he also has just a clip with a 1x1 plate in light bluish gray, and then the normal axe piece, sort of giving off the different colors of Stormbreaker there. And I do really like that. The reason this is my favorite Thor is because of that face print. I think that face print is probably the best Thor face print we've ever gotten. It looks just like Chris Hemsworth, looks just like a Lego-fied version of Thor, and that hair color is really good as well. I think that if they made it a tad bit lighter, we have some better colors now. I think like a darker, or the light tan that they have now for a lot of hair pieces would have been a really good color choice for this, but I still do really like this. I'm pretty sure this is the light nougat, so this is really, really good. And I want to show you the other face print because that is my favorite one. If we actually take this, and this face print has given a lot of inspiration to a lot of other Thors across the years now. That face print is so good. The electricity on there coming off of his eyes, as well as the grimace face, it just looks fantastic. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this fig, and there's just amazing detail on that face print. Again, love that electricity flowing from his eyes. It just looks so good. Avengers Infinity War is almost 10 years old. Not really. It came out in 2018, so we have some time. But it is it's coming up on its 8th anniversary pretty soon in 2026 in, I believe, April. So that is just insane to see already that this set is almost 8 years old. That is really, really cool. And yeah, Avengers Infinity War is one of the lines that was definitely my favorite line of Marvel superheroes to ever come out. I think all the figs were fantastic, and all of the sets were fantastic as well. I thought that even the smaller end of the sets were just great. That is going to be all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.